Deconstruct UPSC. So in the last video, I think the voice was not clear for the sources which we are going to refer for the preparation of the exam. So this is a book list which has been curated following multiple toppers over the years. I think from Anudeep Duri Shetty back in 2017 till 2025. I followed all the toppers. These are the common books that they have followed, and this is the bare minimum book list. I have removed all the extra reference books which we refer to. The golden rule is that we follow one book and we revise it multiple times instead of running for multiple sources. So this is the minimum subset of books, and most of these are government NCERT books which we will be following, and plus one reference book, not for all subjects but for some limited subjects where in-depth knowledge and some conceptual understanding is required. So for ancient and medieval history, we just follow the NCERTs. History is a very boring subject. It has been for me. Uh, but NCERTs are written in a fashion that it is not written story wise, they are written themes wise. There are chapters which talks about themes. Let's say they'll talk about women's of the national movement, and they are set in the tone such that they mimic the patterns of questions which are asked in the mains and the prelims examination. So class 6th NCERT, class 7th, these are both the new NCERTs. For your reference, I'll also show you these are our pasts. So if you see, this is our past book 1 and our past book 2. This is class 6 and class 7th NCERT, and class 12th NCERT themes 1 and class 12th NCERT themes 2. So these 4 books we follow for ancient and medieval history. If you want to follow any other book besides this, you can follow Poonam Dalal Dhaya, you can also follow Romila Thapar, but these are all extra books. Or Tamil Nadu NCERT's book for ancient medieval history is also very good, but I'm not following that. Most of the toppers might have followed that, but class 6 7th new NCERT books and class 12th NCERT themes 1 themes 2, just read these, revise them multiple times, and I think that should do. You'll when you are going to when we are going to solve in another video PYQs, we'll see a lot of questions have been asked from Buddhism, Jainism. There are certain important the Vijayanagara Empire, there's certain important chapters on which special focus needs to be done. For that we can follow any coaching material, etc., for those specific chapters, but not an entire book to book has to be followed. So these 4 NCERTs should suffice for ancient medieval history. For modern history, we follow the class 8th NCERT, our past part 3. Then there is class 12th NCERT themes 3, and then most important book here is Spectrum by Bipin Chandra, written in a story format. It talks about how the Britishers came, how they colonized India, the Indian national movement, which is a distinct part of the syllabus, the Indian national movement. So this Spectrum book is indispensable. A lot of questions directly picked up from here. So class 8th NCERT, so I'll also show you how does it look like. So this is our past part 3, themes in Indian history. This is a class 12th history book, part 3, and Spectrum by Bipin Chandra. So for fine arts, you have to follow only one NCERT, class 11th NCERT of fine arts. So some art and culture questions are there. For that you can follow. Our major chunk of the prelims examination is the polity section. If you see, for polity we'll follow class 11th and 12th West NCR, the Lakshmikant book, so written by M. Lakshmikant. Indian Polity is a very great book which has to be read end to end, which has to be revised multiple times. A lot of questions will be directly asked from there. It renders beautiful explanations for the constitutional articles and how the political government setup exists in our country. But besides that, there are a lot of questions in which UPSC asks philosophy. So philosophical questions are there, the differences between liberty versus freedom, what is the meaning of the word liberty, and they'll give you 4 options to differentiate. So that kind of knowledge, so that tone is set in class 11th NCERT, Constitution at Work, which talks about rights. It talks about the directive principles of state policy in a very beautiful way, story oriented. And class 12th Political Science NCERT book, so that is the polity book, which has each dedicated chapters to these ideals of our constitutions: liberty, freedom, rights, etc., in which they are story based, so you understand the crux, the meaning of what these words actually mean. So polity NCERT you must do, Indian Constitution at Work, and Lakshmikant Indian Polity indispensable. And then for geography, we just follow the NCERTs class 9th to 12th. So these are 4 sets of books. They cover the physical geography and the human geography part. Plus, for certain portions which are not clearly mentioned in the physical geography's book, let's say for NCERT, I see that important geophysical phenomena, which forms a very distinct part of the syllabus, in GS paper 1, it has not been covered very well in the NCERTs. For those phenomena, you can refer JC Leong. So that should be a reference book for certain sections of the syllabus. Then for economy, we only follow one source, which is Indian Economy by Vivek Singh. So let me also show you how these books look like first. So this is class 11th Indian Constitution at Work, NCERT Polity class, textbook in political science class 12th, and then Indian Polity by M Lakshmikant. Then there is geography. We are following four NCERTs, 9 to 12. This is contemporary India part 1, part 2, then physical geography and human geography's fundamentals are there. And GC Leong's textbook of geography. For economy, we are following Indian Economy by Vivek Singh. So this is one book we have to follow for economy end to end. It is very conceptual clarity, beautifully given. So for usually all the sources I've read in economics, this is one book where I find that concepts have been dealt very beautifully. There are examples, solvable examples, numericals, diagrams, etc., which give you enough understanding to solve PYQs, which are based on, and many of the MCQs which come in economy in prelims, they are concept based and not theoretical, not factual based. So this book should suffice, and this needs to be only referred. 550 MCQs by Vivek Singh. So this is one book where you can practice the economy MCQs as well. So this is also very beautiful. So this should cover all the patterns of the questions which are being asked in economy. Then there is environment. So we follow the NCERT class 12th biology. So if you see the syllabus of biology, environment, it talks about pollution, it talks about technology, it talks about genetic engineering, it talks about species, etc. So these are very well covered in chapters 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of this book. And then you'll see many toppers referring PMF IS environment book or Shankar IS, but those are very bulky books. So this is one book on environment which covers everything, which is very thin and very subtly, very simply written. So this is Forum IS's red book, which you can follow. Then for international affairs, as such, you just follow the newspaper. For current affairs, there are multiple sources which have been written, but you need to only follow the Indian Express, the newspaper. You read it daily and you subscribe it to the UPSC Essentials, all the news which is relevant for the UPSC exam. I think the subscription, it's around 1,000-1,500 rupees a year. So that's roughly 100 rupees a month. So for that, you get curated UPSC articles from the newspapers, so which are relevant for the UPSC exam, knowledge nuggets where they are talking about a particular, let's say, Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. So you'll get a knowledge nugget, so the ABCD, A to Z of this bill, the Adhiniyam. So everything you get, why is it important, why is it not important, there are some answer writings as well. So you get everything which is related to current affairs in UPSC Essentials, so you can follow that. So these are the only sources which we have to follow for the static portion, complete, and the current affairs portion. So this forms the foundation of the preparation. Beyond that, so there are value additions which we have to do following the reports, etc. So that will come later in the preparation process when we are preparing for mains, how to value add in our answers. But this is the foundation, this is indispensable, this needs to be completed. So a strong static makes sure that you clear the prelims and also lays the foundation for writing best answers in main. All the best. Thank you.